everybody. So this is Amber Charmaine and this is Young Scar, and we are back with The Beauty and the Beast. And today we're going to be talking about a serious topic, and that is police brutality, Black Lives Matter, and what's been going on in recent events this past week. So today is July 10th, and we're going to talk about the things that have happened this past week and just our thoughts on everything. So Young Scar here had a few things to say before we started filming, so I guess you can start with what you think.
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy. Just don't be black.
That's not all he was saying.
What I'm saying is just don't be black. That's how you don't get killed. Just be something else. Because you can't comply, can't drive in a nice car, can't drive in a bad car, can't be with your family, can't walk in a hoodie, can't go get snacks, can't sell CDs, cigarettes. Just don't be black. It's pretty much how the system wants it to be. So.
And what else were you saying? You're saying other things.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the All Lives Matter thing is just a way to discredit Black Lives Matter. It's just a way for people to just say that, no, your movement doesn't have any meaning. Because there's a couple white kids that got killed by police. Just like this past week. Nobody said anything. All Lives Matter hasn't said anything about it because All Lives Matter is not about all lives. It's about just stating the fact that Black lives don't matter because all lives matter. You got 4 Latinos who just got killed like these past couple weeks.
I mean, I guess that's a good point. So, like, people are saying all lives matter, but nobody is speaking up when all the other lives are getting killed.
Right.
It's not that background. It's not that history. It's not all of that included in it when it comes to black men and black girls. Like, it's not all of that background going into it in the history that we have. I understand how he's saying, like, all lives matter is a way to discredit Black Lives Matter. But at the same time, I feel like it's okay to say, in my opinion, it's okay to say all lives matter when you are saying, yes, all lives matter because nobody deserves to die in that manner by a police officer or by a white person or racial discrimination type of killing or something like that. But then you also say that we are focusing on Black Lives Matter as a community, and we want the rest of the world or US to focus on Black Lives Matter as well and bring awareness to it, because it is these people that are being discriminated against, and still like segregation, more so segregation in the terms of economic status, but you know, all of those things happening. It was on the Ricky Smiley show that I heard someone saying we are focusing on Black Lives Matter. It's not that all lives don't matter, but this is what is really important right now at this time, is the focus on these people because they are being unjustly targeted at this time. And for some reason, I don't know, is it I guess people are saying like it's always been this way, nothing's really changed, but it's the fact that we have so much social media and we're so engaged and it's so instant that we are really starting to see all these things come into play, because media only will show you what it wants to show you. So of course they're going to put these things on the back burner, but because we have our phones now, we can see everything going on right away with just a push of a button. The last couple of people I've seen like doing videos and stuff, they've been doing it to like the live Facebook thing that they have now, like the live video that you can see real time. That's like what a lot of the people have been doing, is putting on Facebook. If I'm not wrong, I think the lady, I forget her name, but the woman that was in the car with her boyfriend, I think that's what she was taping on. So she was like on Facebook, and she knew her family could see it because they're clearly friends on Facebook.
Right.
So yeah, that's why she kept like saying like, oh, my cousin or whoever it was, come get me, because it was on Facebook.
I mean, you know, again, just People like to discredit things when they don't understand it. So when I say Black Lives Matter, I mean Black Lives Matter too. Ours matter too. That has nothing to do with saying that other lives don't matter, because clearly that's inhumane. Like who would say that no lives matter but Black lives matter? I mean, we're not the KKK, because they say all white lives matter and nobody else's lives matter. I mean, we're not a terroristic group trying to take out people because of their beliefs. We just want to be equal. Nothing else. If I'm going to do 50 years for a crime, I want this white guy who does the same thing that I do to also do 50 years. He shouldn't do 6 months and I do 50 years. So Black Lives Matter too. There's a huge disparity in the way that the system treats minorities. It's not just blacks, Latinos, Asians, Native Americans. Everybody gets, unjustly treated. But right now, all their lives, for some reason, have more meaning than ours do. So Black Lives Matter too. We also are human.
I'll bring up a good point too. Like in Europe or wherever, Europe, United Kingdom, all that type of stuff, Great Britain, they don't really carry guns. Like their police really don't carry guns. And the number of people that actually die at the hands of a police officer are very, 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 very low. And I feel like if police here didn't have guns, or like they had to get someone down another way first, like had to, like if we see that you did not try any of the other forms of getting someone to comply,
it's automatic 100 years.
Then you will at least lose your job. Like at least lose your job. I feel like if we had that in place, like if they still carry guns, they have to do this, this, and this before they can even pull their gun out. There would be less, killings and everything just in general from the hands of a police officer. But it's just crazy in the videos that you're watching. And the thing is, the videos don't lie. Like videos don't lie. Recordings don't lie. People can tell their stories and tell their stories any old type of way they want to. But we see the video. So when an officer is doing a routine traffic stop and pulls out his gun, or tells someone to get out without probable cause, or someone says, no, I'm not getting out because I don't have to let you search me, I don't have to let you do anything, there's no probable cause here, but they still do some other stuff and take out their gun, like that's crazy. Like, what did you take out your gun for? Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, you really didn't need to take out your gun. You could have did anything else. You could have maced them, you could have tased them, you could have did anything else but take out your gun. Because and then just imagine, like, people just having a gun to your face, and all you were doing was driving down the daggum road. Like, there's other people, like, at that very moment, there were so many other things that police officer could have been doing that would have been so much more important and so much more valuable and beneficial to the community and to the world than pulling out a gun on somebody who ran a red light. Like, come on now, son. Like, come on now. You cannot be serious. Like, that's ridiculous to me, pulling out a gun for no reason. Sandra Bland, she was the one who got pulled over and the officer opened her car door. I really want to cuss right now because you cannot touch somebody's property. Did you pay for this car? Did you pay for this car? Did you put gas in this car? Did you get the brakes fixed? Did you wipe my window shields? No, you did not. Do not put your hands on my car. I don't care what authority you have. I own this. This is my name on this. This is my property. You don't get to touch my car. So now it's like, now people gotta lock their doors because obviously officers have the right to open doors.
I mean, well, technically they don't, but they don't give a damn.
Like, you cut me so messed up.
Even if you tell them,
That really
even if, I mean, because when they're arresting you, they tell you have the right to remain silent. But if you start out saying, I'm not going to say anything because I have the right to remain silent, then they'll try to forcefully get you to do what they want. But when I'm in handcuffs, I'm told I have the right to remain silent. So I only have the right to remain silent as long as I comply with what you want me to do, even if you don't have the law behind you. So if you don't have a warrant to search the car, or if you don't have a warrant to search me, you can't do anything but write me a ticket. That's how it's supposed to go. But it usually ends up with a minority by the, statistics and by the facts. It's usually a black male who gets shot down. You could be in a car, you could be standing on the corner, standing out in front of a convenience store, doing that, whatever you're doing, and you can end up getting killed. My mom called me. She was crying. Where are you at? Oh, I'm at work. How are you getting home? Can I, her car is messed up right now. She was willing to pay the money to fix it, to take me to and from work because she doesn't want me getting hurt. That sucks. As a human being, like how is this just allowed to be continued? Like, I'm on my own. I'm doing my thing. I'm handling my business. My mom shouldn't be crying about where I'm at or what I'm doing, and I'm not breaking the law. I haven't been in trouble with the law in almost a decade now. About 9 years. Just stayed away from situations that can get me in trouble. And I still have to worry about getting killed for simply walking down the street if I look at a cop the wrong way. If he's having a bad day and he's afraid of me, I'm a dead man walking. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I comply or not. It doesn't matter if I'm a good person. If I got killed tonight, the first thing they would do was bring up my criminal history. The first thing they would do.
Or show a mugshot.
Yeah, that's the first thing they would do. They wouldn't show a picture of me with my daughter. They wouldn't show a picture with me and my brother. They wouldn't show a picture with me and my best friend. They wouldn't show a picture with me and my mom. They'd show my mugshots. The first chance they got. So now, in the public's mind, instead of being an upstanding citizen, which I am, I'd look like I'm a criminal. That's the stuff that is unacceptable. And it just continues to be done over and over and over again and over again and over again. And nobody should die because of stereotypes. But those police officers died because people are thinking, well, I'm going to kill them before they kill me. And the thing about it is that there are more white males that are killing police officers than there is black males. Now, it's not saying that all white people are bad and all the rest. My best friend, my brother, he's a white guy. Best friend.
Pretty gangster white boy at that.
Shut up.
Check him out, ladies.
He's my best friend. Like, that's my brother. We do pretty much everything together, hang out together, go out together. You know what I'm saying? We live together like that. That's my brother. So I don't judge a book by its cover. But if I go outside and walk the streets, I will be judged because I'm a black male that's 6'2" and I'm 280 pounds. So you assume that I'm just out here hurting people. Or because I have the ability, or because I'm big enough to where I could hurt someone, you assume that I'm going to hurt you. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to ask me any questions. They can just look at me and say, he looks threatening, I'm going to stop him. And if he doesn't comply, I'm going to shoot him.
This is why I don't mess with police officers. I had an incident where I think my mom called the police on me or something back in the day. I was like 14 or something. And this officer came to the house. It was like a younger officer who at the most was like 35, and there was an older officer who at the most was like 60. And I was like upset. So like we're really this close. Like this is me and my mom, and this is the two officers. Like we're this close. And I was like just gesturing, I think, or something. And the officer, this grown man to a 14-year-old girl, went like this. I'm just moving my hand or whatever. He went like this. And went to go drag me to the other room. And I went like this, bruh. Like, what are you doing? Like, that day, I could have gotten arrested or sent to juvie for resisting an officer. That officer had no reason to put his hands on me. And he was so mad. Like, the anger towards a 14-year-old girl was just unbelievable to me. I'm 14. And you are a grown man. And the older officer had to tell him to stop. And if that older officer wasn't there, I would have went to jail that night. My life would have been changed completely. It's bad enough when I went to college, I had to write letters about what I learned from getting suspended, even though I was being bullied and the people didn't do nothing about it, but whatever. I had to write to every single college why I had been suspended like 5 times. So imagine what my college letters would have been, or if I even would have had college letters if I would have went to juvie. Like, imagine that. All because an officer wanted to show his authority to a 14-year-old girl. And other people don't get out of those circumstances. Other people's lives are ruined like that, and they didn't even do anything. I didn't do anything to that officer. I didn't say anything crazy to that officer. Yeah, I may have been in the heat of the moment and loud and saying stuff or talking fast and blah, 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 blah. But I didn't threaten that officer. I didn't do nothing to him. I was stood there in my house that I lived in. He was in my house. That's why I don't like officers right there. Also, I've seen officers do crazy stuff. A black officer doing something like at the Boom. So every year, 4th of July, like everybody was just walking. It's a lot of chaos. There are a lot of young people, black people, all kind of people doing stuff at the Boom. But there were these black guys who weren't doing anything. And then this officer, like 6'5", he probably like 200 something pounds, snatched up these teenage boys. And they hadn't done anything. I watched them not do anything but walk and try to get away from the chaos like everybody else. They weren't doing anything. And who knows what their lives are like now, because that officer just did something for no reason. And then once again, it's like the anger. It's crazy. Like, I just feel like as an officer or somebody serving in any type of situation, a teacher, a judge, you should not be harboring some type of anger that you take out on other people. You should be the most calm person, because you are in moments of chaos and true confusion and lying and all this other stuff. You need to be the calmest person in the room. You need to be the calmest person. And it's like at simple jobs like the one I have, working customer service, taking calls, you kind of have to be like a psychologist. Like, I be saying, I don't get paid enough to be dealing with these people like I'm a therapist. Like, it just seems like they're not well-rounded enough to handle every situation or adapt to every situation. It's like either they go to 100% anger and authority. I very rarely have seen an officer do anything otherwise. So that's why, like, that situation with a black cop and then those white cops that came to my house, it's just like, I really can't mess with police. And I understand that not every single police officer is a bad person, because they're not just a police officer, they are a human being and a person. But I ain't with it. I just can't get with it. Like, no, when I see an officer, bro, I'm moving the other way. I'm not about to stay in their area.
And it shouldn't be like that. That's the sad part. If I'm in trouble and something happens, I should be able to call the police and not feel like that when they come into the house that they're going to think that I'm a part of the problem. If I'm the one that's getting robbed and I have my gun and I shoot out shots and the police come here, but I'm the one that called and I got a gun in my hand.
Like that lady who went to jail for the warning shots.
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
What if I get shot and killed when I was the one who called the cops? It shouldn't be like that. I should be able to feel 100% comfortable with calling an officer for help. And that's why the black community doesn't talk to the cops, man. That's why we don't communicate. That's why we don't tell them what's going on.
Because they're not going to handle it. They're not going to handle it. Like, they're not going to handle it. You have more of a chance of handling it on your own than calling a police officer. Like, I put on Twitter that I'm never calling a police officer ever again in my life. Never. Never. I will call my people from the hood before I call a police officer. I'm not calling a police officer for what? Like, they're just going to question me. And I've had several different situations with police officers, and it's just like, it just don't make sense. Like, the way they be looking at stuff, or the way the law works, and what they be saying is going to happen, or what they can and cannot do. It's just like, but I needed you, and you're pretty much telling me you can't do anything. So why did I call you? Why do they say to call you?
Yeah, it's a sad world out there. I just don't know why we all can't just love each other.
Cut it out.
I mean, that's just honest, you know. I saw this video of this guy just going around and hugging people. He had a sign that said free hugs, and he was just hugging cops, hugging random people. Brought a couple tears in my eyes.
So these are our opinions on what's going on. Please let us know what you are feeling about the recent events that have been happening. I think it's is it Dallas, Texas?
It was, Dallas and Minnesota.
And Minnesota.
And Chicago and Cincinnati.
And just all the protests that are now going on and people getting arrested.
Atlanta.
So just let us know what you feel in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, please thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. Especially this video is something that everybody needs to hear, and just, you know, get an understanding of everybody's different views, just like any other videos on this matter right now. It's just another way to promote not just us, but the actual issue at hand. My name's Amber Charmaine, once again, and this is
Sexy.
This is Young Scar, and this is The Beauty and the Beast. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.